3 patrol cars pulled into my driveway at 7:08. Meow, sirens blaring. Officers ready to drag me off my own land. They said I was trespassing at my own cabin, and the woman who called them, Vivian Hartwell, the self-proclaimed queen of our HOA, what she didn't know was that the ground under her $1 million mansion belonged to me. Axie T1. The conflict begins. My name's Garrett Stone. I'm a retired electrician from Ohio. After losing my wife to cancer, I packed up, left the noise of the city, and moved permanently into my Uncle Tobias's old cabin in the Colorado mountains. That cabin, 12 acres, tucked between tall pines and a lake that turns to glass at dawn, was my refuge. Tobias built it solid, off-grid, and peaceful. It was where I could breathe again. At first, things were quiet. Then came the new people, wealthy out-of-towners, building McMansions on every ridge. They weren't here for the peace. They were here to control it. They formed the Mountain Vista Estates, HOA, and right at the top was Vivian Hartwell. Imagine a pharmaceutical exec in a white Range Rover, strutting around in heels too tall for gravel roads, clipboard in hand like it was a weapon. That was her. Vivian showed up one morning with a 47-page packet. HOA bylaws, rules about acceptable landscaping, uniform property appearance, even a ban on vegetable gardens. I laughed. Ma'am, I was here long before your HOA existed. Your rules don't apply to me. Her smile twitched. She leaned in close, perfume sharp in the mountain air. Oh! We'll see about that, Mr. Stone. From that moment, I knew peace was over. Act 2. Escalation and doubt. Vivian came at me with everything. First, the harassment campaign. Inspectors at my door, weekly fire marshals, building officials, surveyors, all because of anonymous complaints. They said my cabin was unsafe, my solar panels illegal, my septic system non-compliant. Every test came back clean. Tobias had built this place like a fortress. Then came the money grab. The HOA sent me a bill for $18,000, claiming my driveway encroached on community property. I went digging through Tobias's old files, stacks of yellowed maps, surveys, hand-scribbled notes. That's when I noticed something. Vivian's prized rose garden, the one she bragged about at every HOA meeting, sat squarely on my land. But she didn't stop. False 911 calls started rolling in. Deputies showed up saying I'd been reported for disturbing the peace, or that I'd had a mental health crisis. My utilities were tampered with. Online, posts popped up calling me a dangerous hermit, squatting on land that wasn't mine. For the first time in my life, I felt cornered. I remember sitting at my kitchen table one night, staring at the deed in my hands, thinking, maybe she's right. Maybe I can't win this. Maybe I should just walk away. That thought nearly broke me. And then I found the folder. At the bottom of Tobias's safe, marked nuclear option, was a set of documents: mineral rights, water rights, ground leases. Tobias hadn't just owned the cabin, he'd spent 30 years quietly buying every acre around it. Every ridge, every creek, every lot under those McMansions. My lawyer, Gerald, scanned the papers and let out a low whistle. Garrett, you're not the squatter here. You're the landlord. For the first time in months, I felt the fear slide off my shoulders. I wasn't powerless. I had the upper hand, and it was time Vivian learned the truth. Act 3, Climax and Justice. Vivian didn't slow down. She escalated. She organized a smear campaign, rallying neighbors to sign petitions calling me a public safety hazard. She even tried to plant drug paraphernalia on my property. My cameras caught her men red-handed, slipping into my shed at night. Then came the emergency zoning hearing. A corrupt county commissioner, friendly with Vivian, fast-tracked it. The courthouse was packed. Vivian strutted in, wearing a Navy power suit, clutching a thumb drive like it was the smoking gun. She clicked through slides, claiming my cabin was a fire hazard, that I was a squatter, that Mountain Vista Estates needed me removed for community safety. People muttered, nodded. For a moment, I felt the old fear rise again. Then Gerald stood, calm, deliberate. He spread survey maps across the projector, original deeds, mineral rights contracts, ground leases. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, Mr. Stone owns every inch of the land these homes sit on, every driveway, every backyard, every shoreline. The HOA has no authority here. The room went silent. Then the sheriff stood. He held up a folder, my security footage. It showed Vivian's men trespassing, vandalizing, planting evidence. It showed Vivian herself trespassing on my land. Gasps filled the room. Neighbors turned on her. The same people who signed her petitions now whispered angrily, some even shouting. Vivian's face twisted. She tried to scream over it. This is a conspiracy. He's lying. I built this community, but her own allies were stepping away. The commissioner sank in his chair. Reporters rushed forward. Cameras flashing. The sheriff's voice cut through the chaos. Mrs. Hartwell, one more stunt like this, and it won't be civil court. It'll be criminal. Vivian froze, clipboard slipping from her hand. For the first time since I'd met her, she had nothing to say. And just like that, the Queen of Mountain Vista fell. Final beat. I didn't cheer. I didn't celebrate. I just walked out of that courthouse with my deed folder under my arm, breathing mountain air that felt freer than it had in months. Because in the end, it was simple. Bullies only win when you believe their lies. Own the truth. Stand your ground and their empire crumbles.